mitotic phase is a part of cell cycle. Okay, never forget about this. But they are the shortest part. Okay, paling pendek punya. Singkat dia, paling cepat dia habis lengkap kerja dia. Okay, so only through the mitotic phase, right? Okay, we know that one cell able to divide and form two daughter cells here. And then each daughter cell will continue to their own cell cycle. It's just an average range. Okay, satu purata sahaja. Okay, and also here we skip the information about the G0 phase. Okay, the G0 phase, which is a temporary status that the cell will shift to become inactive in cell division. Dia jadi dormant, tidak aktif. Okay, kita tengok ya, mitotic phase ini ada dua processes. Is karyokinesis. Okay, which is the meaning related with the nucleus. So kinesis mean division ya. Okay, so mitosis is the type of karyokinesis that involved in mitotic phase. That's why dia diberikan nama mitotic. At the end of the karyokinesis, right, we notice that they will form two identical nuclei. So ini adalah satu gambaran menunjukkan dalam satu animal cell, okay, how two total nuclei is formed selepas karyokinesis. Okay, mula-mula dengan satu nukleus, now we have two nuclei which still in one cell. Kenapa saya kata dia masih satu cell? Sebab kamu tengok dia masih share the cytoplasm. They still share the cytoplasm. Okay, but karyokinesis will follow immediately by the cytokinesis, which is the division of cytoplasm. So at the end of the cytokinesis, at the end of the cytokinesis, then only they form the two daughter cells. So bila cytokinesis bermula, dan mereka akan jadi complete, baru dia berjaya memisahkan ya dua sel itu. Setiap sel ada membrane dia yang intact, yang complete dengan cytoplasm sendiri, mitosis. So this is the definition about the mitosis, which is actually a nuclear division. Okay, a nuclear division. Okay, and they follow by cytokinesis. So the definition will be complete if students mention their product or their outcome. They are going to form two daughter cells, and later on you will understand that each daughter cell, they will carry the same number of chromosome as the parent cell. Okay, dia walaupun dari segi size dia nampak smaller ya, at the end of the mitotic phase, after they form the two daughter cells, even though the size is smaller, but actually if we study their nuclear material, bahan dalam nucleus itu, iaitu chromosome, identical with the parent cell. So stages in mitosis can be remembered in this way. PMAP, okay, which is begun with the prophase, okay, metaphase, anaphase. Telophase usually will right together with the cytokinesis because cytokinesis really follow immediately. Okay, dengan cepat. Once two nuclei is formed, bila dua nuclei dibentuk disebabkan telophase ini, once ada two nuclei is formed, cytokinesis start to begin. Okay, so now we are talking about the mitosis happen in mitotic phase. That means students have to remember the cell actually already undergo the interphase. Okay, dia sudah melalui interphase. So barulah sekarang dia nak masuk ya kita punya mitosis yang PAD tu dengan cytokinesis. Semasa gate 1 ini adalah satu gambaran yang kita kata teori ya. Dalam sel itu, animal cell semasa di early interphase ya, iaitu first gate phase, kromosom dia, semua kromosom dalam nucleus dia it's still in chromatin form, which is still lengthened and uncoiled. Dan nucleus boleh diobserve dengan senang. Okay, sebab nucleus dan nuclear envelope dia masih dalam keadaan kita kata intact. Okay, masih complete punya. Okay, boleh nampak dengan jelas. Tetapi dalam cytoplasm dia, kalau kita study animal cell, it's only one centrosome ya, and this centrosome surround a pair of centrioles. Okay, so after the S phase, okay, sebab lepas G1 kita ada S phase. Okay, S phase ialah this chromosome, each of the chromosome, they will undergo the DNA replication. So they will form two DNA unit in one centromere. Atau kita kata duplicated chromosome is formed. Jadi kamu tengok sekarang nuclear material dia telah digandakan. Okay, sebab setiap satu ada sekarang ada kopi dia. Okay, but they still chromatin. Okay, they still chromatin. And nucleus still can be observed easily because nuclear envelope masih ada. Tetapi kalau kita tengok ya, kalau katakan lepas G2 phase ya, habis G2 phase, apa yang nampak berbeza sekali ialah centrosome pun sudah mengalami duplication. Di G1 dia hanya satu centrosome, sekarang dia ada dua centrosome. Dan dua centrosome ini setiap satu masih membawa dua centrioles. G2. Late interface maksudnya after the G2. Okay, after the G2, okay, this is a diagram. So imagine this cell, they proceed to the mitosis, which is start with the first stage, prophase. Kalau di prophase, okay, kita nampaklah gambaran tu telah berbeza sedikit. Okay, kalau kita tengok 4 stages in mitosis, right? Prophase is the longest phase of mitosis. Apa yang pertama, saya mula dengan yang blue color box ya. Okay, blue color is about the nucleus. You will notice that the nucleus, okay, iaitu organelle that found in the nucleus, and also the membrane of the nucleus ya, atau kita panggil dia nuclear envelope. Dua-duanya mulai merosot. Okay, mulai merosot. This is the first. Okay, second, we look at the genetic material in the nucleus now. Okay. In the G2, in the second gap phase, the genetic material are in the chromatin form. Okay, keadaan di mana DNA itu belum pack tightly. In prophase, the chromatin start to condense. Dia mulai condense, jadi setiap kromosom ini, setiap DNA ini, kita tukar nama dia jadi kromosom. Iaitu satu keadaan di mana boleh diobserve bawah mikroskop. Okay. So kalau lukisan teori, selalu lukis tengah seolah-olah macam satu huruf X. Atau kita kata macam butterfly. Okay. Okay. Each chromosome has two identical sister chromatic attached at the centromere. This is because after S phase. So ini pun ada sister chromatic dia, ini pun ada. Okay. Okay. Dan lepas kita tengok nucleus, kita tengok genetic material dia, kita study sikit apa yang berlaku di cytoplasm, iaitu fokus pada centrosome itu. So this is one centrosome. Okay, centrosome consists of ester ya. Ini haiwan saja ada ya. Ester adalah short microtubules yang dia susun dalam keadaan macam pancaran. Radial array. Okay, they are short microtubules. But the short microtubules, okay, will start to extend. Kita mulai akan memanjang. That's why mereka menolak ya centrosome ni berpisah from each other. Okay, this is, you can focus, compare one more time with the cell in the G2 ya. After the G2, this is the location of the two centrosome. Okay, the two centrosome, they are quite close to each other. But when they move on to the prophase, right, the ester start to elongate. Okay, macam kita panjangkan tangan kita tolak kawan yang bertentangan saya jauh sikit. We move further from each other. So metaphase is typically shown by the alignment of chromosome at the metaphase plate. Okay. Satu structure yang kita tak mungkin dapat jumpa bawah mikroskop sebab dia bukan physical structure ya. Dia adalah satu istilah menerangkan equator of cell. Sebab dia berarti paksi yang berada di khatulistiwa sel itu. So chromosome will align there. Okay? And you will notice that each chromosome, right, why they will be fixed in that position? Mengapa dia boleh disusun dengan kemas di sana? Sebab dibantu oleh microtubules atau kita panggil dia spindle fiber that elongate from opposite poles of cell. Okay. So setiap kromosom ada satu centromere dia, dan centromere dia akan terikat kepada spindle fiber yang daripada kutub yang opposite. So inilah dia dipegang tetap di sana. Okay, fixed position. So you can see this is the explanation. Same chromosome. So kromosom yang sama dia ada centromere dia. Okay, dan centromere ni akan terikat dengan microtubules from the opposite. Okay, from the opposite poles. Dan centrosome tadi bila prophase kan, centrosome mulai bergerak. Okay, kita tahu tadi centrosome already start separate and move because of the extension of spindle fiber. Okay, but when at the metaphase, right, they will be found in the location which is opposite poles of the cell. Opposite poles of the cells mean now they are located at the furthest distance in the cell. Okay, berada di jarak yang paling jauh antara satu sama lain. Because theory class we draw the chromosome like a very organized way. Satu keadaan yang sangat organized macam butterfly, betul-betul butterfly. Tapi sebenarnya kalau bawah mikroskop inilah keadaan sebenar. Okay, how the chromosome look alike under the microscope. But we still know that they are called as chromosome because you can see the thickness of the DNA now. Genetic material punya thickness boleh dinampak. Maksudnya dia ada chromatic dia sudah dalam keadaan kita kata condensed. That's why memang mereka dipanggil kromosom. Dan microtubules kamu pun tengok ya. Okay, dia banyak sangat. Okay, that's why dia nampak bertindih. Tapi bila lukisan tangan dia nampak kemas. Because we want the student to understand how the centromere, how the chromosome can be aligned at the metaphase plate. Organized with an organized way because of the centromere attached to spindle fibers from opposite poles of the cell. The shortest stage of mitosis, this is, we focus on the chromosomal behavior ialah, we notice that the sister chromatids start to separate and move. Okay, this is the important keyword. Kenapa dia boleh bergerak? Sebab centromere telah split. Okay, centromere telah dibahagi dua. Iaitu tempat yang pegang sister chromatic tu. Dan mengapakah centromere tu boleh split? Sebab kita punya spindle fibers yang memegang centromere tu mengalami shortening process. If the microtubules develop from the centrosome or ester, right, they attach at the centromere atau kita tahu dia sebenarnya tempat yang dia attach adalah kinetochore. Then that microtubules is called as kinetochore microtubules. So sekarang kinetochore microtubules tu menjadi pendek dan dua-dua arah itu tarik ya sebab the chromosome they are aligned at the metaphase plate, attached to the spindle fibers from the opposite poles. So bila sini mementik, dia tarik, sini pun tarik, dia akan pecahkan ya, split the centromere. So bila split the centromere, this is how they pull the sister chromatics away from each other. Okay. Dan bila kita label, kita tengok labeling ya, kenapa kita label dia total chromosome? Kita tak boleh label dia sebagai sister chromatic class.
Sebab centromere dah split.
Ya, sebab centromere sudah split. Sebab sister chromatic hanya untuk DNA. Okay, DNA atau secara teori kita selalu lukis dia ada thickness, kita panggil dia chromatic. Sebenarnya sister chromatic adalah bila DNA itu atau chromatic itu dia masih attached to the same centromere. Tapi di sini saya nampak ya sister chromatic sudah separate, masing-masing ada centromere dia. Okay, so they are not more sister chromatic anymore. They are the sister chromatic, they have been separated and moved. So usually when we label it as total chromosome atau kita panggil dia chromosome pun sudah cukup. Kenapa dia kata total chromosome? Because these chromosomes are going to become the chromosome for total cells. Okay, for total cells. So kamu tengok ya, bila setiap kromosom sister chromatic dia separate and move kan, kita tengok ya, bahagian atas ada 4 kromosom. Macam mana saya boleh mengira 4 kromosom? Saya guna tips ya, saya kira dia punya centromere. Okay. Dan bawah pun ada 4 kromosom. That's why anaphase punya tujuan ialah pastikan the opposite poles of cell receive equal number of chromosome. Okay, bilangan kromosom yang diterima itu adalah sama rata. Okay, ini sangat penting supaya dia boleh membentuk total cells yang kita kata identical number with the parent cell. The last, which is the telophase. Okay, telophase, always remember, is a stage of mitosis, okay, continue, okay, immediately with the cytokinesis. Okay, so what happened is, you notice that the nucleus, okay, structure start to reappear. Iaitu nucleus dan membrane of the nucleus reform. Okay, reform dan dia akan membentuk semula organel nucleus itu. Dan sekarang genetic material dia akan jadi uncoil and lengthen, iaitu dia mengalami proses tidak begitu tightly packed anymore. Okay, atau coiling tu sudah reduce already, uncoil and lengthen. So kita sekarang tahu dia sudah berada di status chromatin. And disebabkan this structure is formed, right? So you can observe 2 total nuclei in one cell. Okay, in one cell, sebab cytokinesis belum completely done ya. Dia baru mula tapi belum completely done. They still share the same cytoplasm. Okay. And one more thing is about the spindle fibers. Since the spindle fibers start already complete their mission, iaitu spindle fibers penting untuk arrange the chromosome at the metaphase plate. Okay, separate the sister chromatic to opposite poles. Now their mission complete already, so they disintegrate. Our centrosome still at the opposite poles of the cell. Okay, centrosome lepas dia berada di jarak paling jauh di metaphase kan, anaphase, telophase mereka pun kekal di sana. Okay, this is just the real picture ya, under microscope. So theoretically diagram we can see that we draw the chromosome in the like the butterfly, which we can count the DNA easily, we can observe the centromere easily, but that one is for theoretically learning. Okay, this is the real thing ya. So interface the nucleus still intake. Okay, kita masih boleh nampak nucleus tu, tapi kamu tengok warna dia seragam, warna color darker itu seragam. Sebab kenapa? Kromosom dia masih dalam keadaan chromatin. Okay, chromatin. So kita suka nak pergi tengok the thickness of the DNA easily. Tak seperti prophase. Kamu tengok prophase, kita nampak ya, the genetic material is found with the thickness that you can see the strength there. Dia macam berbenang sudah muncul. Setiap satu ni kromosom. Okay. Dan yang paling obvious kamu tengok ya, this is the location where the centriole and the centrosome is found, di mana spindle fibers ada. Dan ini metaphase, you can see that they arrange at the metaphase plate. Okay. So anaphase susah sikit ya untuk this kind of cell. Anaphase ini diidentifikan sebagai anaphase because you compare with the metaphase carefully, there is the very small distance or small gap between each strand. Okay, setiap berbenang ni mewakili satu kromosom ya. Okay, dia seolah-olah sudah ada jarak. So maksudnya mereka mulai separate and move already. Okay. So early telophase, you can see these 2 groups of genetic materials. Even though we cannot count it properly, but actually they have the equal number of chromosome. Okay. And the late letophase is, the late letophase, you notice now the chromosome all like scatter, macam berselerak ya dalam satu kawasan yang dia mulai muncul spherical shape balik sebab nucleus is going to be reformed. So plant cell, interface, we can see the nucleus, kawasan yang paling gelap dalam organel nucleus. Nucleus tu very obvious and the color is like uniformly darker ya. Sebab kenapa? Kromosom dalam chromatin form. Okay, kita tak boleh tengok kromosom tu dengan begitu jelas lagi. Tetapi kalau kamu banding dengan sel yang bersebelahan, yang kamu nampak, sekarang kamu boleh nampak dia ada small strand already because condensation occurs already. That's why we have the chromosome now. And you can see the shape of the spherical is start to disappear. Okay, bentuk spherical tu sudah mulai tak ada sebab nuclear envelope, nucleus mulai disintegrate. Bila tak ada nuclear envelope, barulah kita punya kromosom tu boleh align kat metaphase plate di metaphase dengan senang sebab dia tidak terkurung dalam nucleus anymore. Okay, so here is the anaphase. You can see the two groups of the chromosome separate to opposite poles of the cell. Okay, dan kita ada telophase. Okay, kamu boleh tengok dia mulai muncul balik spherical shape dia. Unjuran kromatik atau kromosom tu tidak nampak already kat telophase. Dia mulai muncul balik kepada spherical. We know that we have to complete the mitotic phase, we have to form the two daughter cells. So how the two daughter cells can be formed? It must be complete by the division of cytoplasm. Okay, so animal cell is the eukaryotic cell that do not have cell wall. Okay, maka cytokinesis dia akan berlaku mula dengan pembentukan cleavage furrow. Sebab kat tengah-tengah yang dekat dengan equator of cell tu, dia mulai mengecut ke dalam. Okay, kenapa dia boleh mengecut ke dalam? Sebab ini semua adalah peranannya microfilament yang dia susun berdekatan dengan membrane yang dekat kat equator cell itu. Okay, dia susun dalam bentuk gelang macam satu ring Dan these microfilaments they able to contract. Dia boleh mengecut punya. Bila dia mengecut, dia macam tangan tau. Dia tarik membrane tu ke tengah. That's why kita kata dia tarik membrane tu dari luar ke tengah, ke pusat of the cell outer inward. So bila dia contract, kamu imagine now the diameter at this side will become smaller. That's why they form a groove. Dia membentuk satu groove dan dia diberikan nama cleavage furrow sebab dia akan memberikan fungsi pembahagian. Cleavage ada maknanya division. Okay, so when they keep contracting bila microfilaments ini teruskan dia punya contraction sehingga dia fully detach the membrane of the cell. Okay, so they will form the two daughter cells. They have their own cytoplasm. So this is why we say cytokinesis is complete when the two cells are completely separated. And if we study the nuclear material, iaitu the genetic material in the nucleus, especially what we mean here is the number of chromosome is still same with the parent cell. Tetapi plant cell, dia adalah eukaryotic cell yang ada cell wall. Okay, disebabkan cell wall, which is the structure that we say give structural support, right? So they won't be affected easily. So macam mana plant cell membahagikan dia punya new cells is after the telophase. So how I know is after telophase because I notice they have the two daughter nuclei. So what happened is the role of Golgi body, they will produce vesicles, banyak vesicles that contain the cell wall material. Yang membawa cell wall material, contoh cellulose dan organic molecules lain. These vesicles will move towards the equator of the cell. Bila dia when they move to the equator of the cell, right? They will start to enlarge. Bila dia enlarge, kamu tengok bila dia enlarge, dia akan fuse dengan vesicle yang bersebelahan. So this is why we say enlarge and fuse. So bila they enlarge and fuse, you can see they form a elongated structure, right? This structure is called as cell plate. Cell plate, dia berbeza ialah dia form dari tengah ke sempadan, from center outward. Tetapi cleavage furrow in the animal cell is from outer inward, dari luar ditarik ke tengah. Ini from center outward, iaitu dia bermula di tengah dulu, cell plate mula bentuk di tengah dulu. So sini ada vesicle, Sini ada vesicle, ada vesicle. So ini terus dia enlarge and fuse. So enlarge and fuse sehingga dia menjadi satu cell plate yang panjang dan dia akan hujung dia akan gabung, unite with existing membrane. Dia akan gabung dengan membrane yang sedia ada dalam sel itu dan dia akan membentukkan sel wall yang baru dan sekarang barulah kita kata dia berjaya separate the two cytoplasm completely. So cytokinesis complete, two total cells are formed. So kalau kita tengok bahagian di sini, maksudnya ini adalah new cell wall material is produce secreted to form the new cell wall. Itu maksudnya kalau kita tengok masing-masing ada cell wall dia. Masing-masing ada cell wall dia. This is one cell. This is another cell wall of the neighboring cell. So bahan ini adalah dihasilkan untuk membentuk mereka ada masing-masing punya cell wall. Masing-masing punya cell wall dan membrane di sini. This is membrane. This is the membrane. This is cell wall. It's the beginning of the cytokinesis. Asalnya awal-awal kamu tengok vesicle semua bergerak ke tengah equator of cell. So they will start to enlarge and fuse from the center outwards. Dia bergerak keluar dan hujung dia akan gabung dengan membrane yang sedia ada dan baru dia membentuk cell wall, animal cell. So mitotic division ni termasuklah mitosis dengan cytokinesis. So both show the four phases of mitosis, DMAT2. Lepas tu diikuti dengan cytokinesis. Susunan event tu memang ikut sequence of events. Dan berlaku di somatic cell. Somatic cells means that any cells that do not involve in the sexual reproduction atau kita kata gamete formation. Sel yang tidak terlibat dalam pembentukan gamete sebab itu adalah nuclear division yang kita panggil meiosis. Dan at the end, right, they will produce the two daughter cells. They have the genetic material the number of chromosome same as the parent cell. Iaitu dengan kehadiran cell wall dan tak ada cell wall itu, you can see that animal cells, plant cell, they have their own way to separate the cytoplasm. One is through the formation of cleavage furrow, one is through the formation of cell plate. But this structure, when they form, right, the direction is different. Animal cell, the cleavage furrow is formed outer inward. Dia mula dari luar, dia tarik dari luar ke tengah. Tetapi untuk plant cell, the cell plate is formed center outward. Dia mula di tengah, dia baru memanjang ke sempadan to the membrane of the cells. Dan bilakah struktur ni mulai terbentuk? Dua-duanya masih telah berlaku semasa telophase. Sebab contractile ring yang dibentuk oleh microfilament sebenarnya sudah terbentuk semasa telophase. Manakala untuk plant cell, cell plate dia adalah dibentuk oleh vesicles. Untuk haiwan, semua sel boleh menunjukkan mitotic division. Tetapi untuk plant cell meristem cell sahaja yang boleh menunjukkan cell division sebab plant cell meristem tissue yang terdiri daripada meristem cells ada ciri membahagi atau dividing tissue. The permanent tissue cannot because permanent tissue, the main characteristic, they are non-dividing tissue, so no mitosis, and they able to form the short microtubules which is this one, contribute to the centrosome. Ini yang pendek-pendek ni sebenarnya ester, tapi kita label macam ni sebagai centrosome. Tetapi plant cell dia walaupun nampak ada centrosome kan, tetapi dia tak ada centros kat tengah. That's why dia selalu diwakili dengan simbol macam ni sahaja. And this is not also called as ester. Untuk plant cell special sikit, the short microtubules actually is not ester. We call this structure as MTOC. They are still microtubules. That's why they call it as microtubules organizing center.